Hello, we're going to talk about squares and rectangles today. So please take out your math page, lesson 6.6, squares and rectangles, pages 145 and 146 is on the back. You will need a pencil and we're going to work through this together. So yesterday we talked about plane shapes and we were introduced to squares, rectangles, circles, and triangles. And if I helped you learn anything, you found out that plane shapes are shapes that you can step on. The 3D shapes are shapes that have height and depth and width. Plane shapes, like squares and rectangles, are flat. So let's begin our math page. For number 1, it says circle the number. So they want us to circle how many squares there are. Well, I see 1, 2, 3 squares. So I'm going to circle the number 3. For number 2, they want me to count the rectangles. So this time I see 1, 2, 3, 4. I need to circle the number 4. Now, for these next few questions, they have given me a picture of a flag from a different country. And so they want me to look at the flags and figure out how many shapes are in these flags. Okay, so I'll be counting how many squares and how many rectangles there are in each of these flags. So if I look at this flag of the country of Chile, I have a square here. I don't have any other squares. So I'm going to write down 1 for the 1 square. You guys all see how this box right here is a square. Now they want me to count the rectangles. So how many rectangles do I see? Well, I see a rectangle here, and I see a rectangle here. So that gives me 2 rectangles. I have 1 square and 2 rectangles. For the next shape, for the next question rather, number 4, this is the United Arab Emirates, and they're asking me how many squares and rectangles are in this flag. There are no squares in this flag at all, so I need to put a 0 for squares. How many rectangles do I count? Well, there's a red rectangle, there's a green rectangle, a white rectangle, and a black rectangle. So I have 4 rectangles. No squares, 4 rectangles. Finally, I can come down here to Uruguay's flag, and if you look closely at this, you can see this white part here in the corner, on the left-hand corner, is a square. So I have 1 square. Kind of like Chile's flag up there. They both have that square in the corner. All right, and now I have to count the rectangles. Well, this is trickier because there are a lot of really skinny, long rectangles here. So each of these stripes is a rectangle. These rectangles are a little bit smaller than the bottom rectangles, but let's count them all. So there's 1 here, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 rectangles in all. So, complete this math page just like I have, and then you're going to flip it over, and let's do page 146 together. So this time, we're going to look here at the pictures. They just have some different countries shown here. So China and Brazil, and I really don't know what country she's representing. She's got her little flag, though. So this is Central African Republic, and we're going to count how many squares are in their flag. I see absolutely no squares, so the number of squares is 0. How many rectangles? Well, there's a lot of rectangles, right? I have 1 here, 1 here, 1 here, 1 here. This red in the middle is another one. Now, let's go back and count all these rectangles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 rectangles, just like the last flag we did. So 0 squares and 9 rectangles. Now down here, they want me to color the Christian flag. So I'm going to choose a blue and a red to color it. So the squares will be blue. So this shape up here, this part right here, needs to all be colored in blue because it is a square. Now, it would take me a really long time to fill that in. And then for the red, I need the color in rectangles. Let me get a fatter crayon for this, and maybe it'll go faster. There we go. Oh, I might have gotten too fat. Now I'm coloring outside the lines. But there's my 2 rectangles. So let's see if I can get that better. There you go. So the background should all be blue, and the cross should be red. And those are our squares and our rectangles. Be sure to check out the fun videos I've included for today.